We don't know exactly what digital assets the federal government has. I've seen reports that it might have, for example, 50,000 ETH, which is Ethereum. But again, we need to get to the bottom of that. When we figure out exactly what the assets are, we're going to move them into the digital stockpile. The purpose of the stockpile is responsible stewardship. It's a place for safekeeping. It's a centralized, you could say, account under the direction of the Secretary of the Treasury. And the Secretary of the Treasury will figure out how to maximize the values of these holdings. Now, there's a couple of important differences between stockpile and reserve. So one is the reserve, the executive order actually provides that the Secretary of the Treasury will not sell the Bitcoin. Okay, we're prohibited from selling the Bitcoin. There's no such prohibition with respect to the stockpile. If the Secretary of the Treasury decides that it's in the long-term interest of the U.S. to rebalance the portfolio or change the portfolio, the Secretary has the discretion to do that.
The White House and crypto czar, this guy right here, David Sachs, has just confirmed that the U.S. government owns about 50,000 Ethereum, and the government will never sell Bitcoin and crypto that is in the reserve. This interview is extremely important. If you own Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, or any cryptocurrency, you need to see this, because listen to this.
Bitcoin is most widely accepted as a store of value throughout the world.
Yeah.
So we do believe it should be treated special. Now, that being said, we're also creating the digital asset stockpile. So all the other digital
explain
assets.
the difference between these two. So there's a digital asset stockpile. That's the picker. And then on the other side, there's a strategic reserve for Bitcoin, because we do acquire Bitcoin, we, the United States of America.
This part is important. They speak about the difference between the reserve and the stockpile, because there is a big difference between the Bitcoin reserve and the crypto stockpile. So listen to this.
Right, okay.
Architecture.
So we have the reserve and we have the stockpile. So the reserve is just Bitcoin. The goal is long-term preservation. Think of it as like a digital Fort Knox for digital gold. We want to put the digital gold in there. We want to keep it secure. We never want to sell it. That's the goal of the reserve. And you're right that we've made the mistake in the past of selling this stuff. At one point in time, we had about 400,000 Bitcoin on the federal balance sheet. We sold roughly half of that for something like $360 million total. If we had held all of that, it would be worth, just that the portion we sold would be worth over 17 billion. So we made this mistake of prematurely selling Bitcoin when we should have held it. We don't want to make that mistake with regard to the rest of it. We think there's around 200,000 coins left on the federal balance sheet, but the truth is that nobody knows because we've never done a proper audit. So part of what this executive order provides is that we're going to do for the first time a government-wide accounting of the digital assets that we actually have. So,
and if digital assets emerge in some department, I don't know, the FBI seizes some, the CIA seizes some, I don't know which organization winds up having them, they're going to be legally required to report that and then put them in the reserve.
Well, they'll be legally required to report it, and then they'll go in the reserve if there's a final adjudication. So, obviously, if those coins could go back as restitution to victims, or if the person who they were seized from wins their court case and gets them back, they're not going to go into the Federal Reserve. But if there's been a final adjudication and a final forfeiture, yes, those will go into the reserve.
This is very interesting. David Sachs, the White House crypto czar, has just said that the U.S. government doesn't know how much Bitcoin or Ethereum or XRP or crypto that they own. The U.S. government has no idea how much they actually own in cryptocurrency, and the reserve is meant to never sell ever. But the stockpile, the crypto that will end up in the stockpile, they can sell. So this is what he has just said. Now, listen to why David Sachs never wants to sell Bitcoin. Yes, he wants to hold Bitcoin forever, and listen to his explanation as to why.
We do think Bitcoin is special, and I can get into the reasons
explain why. That's a great thing. Yeah.
Well, Bitcoin is the original cryptocurrency. It's the first one. It's the only one that doesn't have an issuer. Right? It's very decentralized. It's, in crypto, they call this the Immaculate Conception. We don't really know how it got here. We don't know who Satoshi is. It's almost mystical, you would say.
Yes.
It's the most valuable one. It has a $2 trillion market cap, and it's the most secure. It's never been hacked, right? So we're now, over 15 years into this journey, and there's been a lot of people who've been skeptical along the way, and there's been a lot of ups and downs, but here it is. I remember back in 2011, I think it's the first time I bought a Bitcoin. I think it was at $120. Now it's at $90,000. Again, there have been all sorts of wild swings along the way, but this thing just keeps chugging along. And you can think of that $2 trillion market cap is like a $2 trillion bug bounty. If there was a way to hack this, there's every incentive in the world. And by hack, I mean like to double spend, create basically counterfeit Bitcoin, I guess would be the way for people to think about it. And
It
so
is a miracle it hasn't been compromised. I think we can all say that.
Well, I don't know if it's a miracle. I think it's exceptional design.
Sure.
You know? And so I think what you could say is that it's been tested in a very robust way, and there's been every incentive to basically break the encryption, and it continues to chug along. And so I think the price has gone up as the protocol has gotten more acceptance.
Bitcoin is special, and we should never sell Bitcoin, according to David Sachs. That's literally what he just said. And now I'm going to show you another video of David Sachs right here speaking about the Ripple lawsuit. And he said how Ripple XRP won. Listen to this.
The headline is, I have to figure this out in real time. This is too complicated. The bottom line is that the headline is...
Well, I just want to make sure the audience gets it. Yeah.
Look, the headline is, I'm reading the tweet, Ripple sales of XRP do not constitute offer of investment contracts, according to Judge. They won.
Yeah.
They won.
This is a huge vindication for them. And the XRP is ripping 35%.
Yeah.
This is David Sachs, the AI and crypto czar of the U.S. White House, literally speaking about how Ripple XRP won. And also, David Sachs, right here, as you can tell, he tweeted on X, he posted on X, big ruling for cryptocurrency and Ripple XRP. And this was in response to a post by Cameron Winklevoss posting about how the XRP is not a security. XRP won the lawsuit, and basically David Sachs said this is big for cryptocurrency. So he has his eyes on Ripple and XRP. And now he wants to make America and the United States the crypto capital of the world. Him and President Trump want to make America great again in crypto. So listen to this.
We want that innovation happening here in the United States, and I think it now will happen in the United States because President Trump has declared that the U.S. must be the crypto capital of the world.
And Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP are the leading cryptocurrencies in the world right now. And the White House are looking at them to add them to their strategic reserve and the stockpile. Again, there is a big difference between the reserve and the stockpile. All of these cryptocurrencies will be in one or the other, and it will be interesting to see how they shape out. But David Sachs, the White House crypto czar, is bullish on XRP, Bitcoin, and Ethereum, and we will make crypto great again. Tap the like button real quick, join us, subscribe, because I will keep you all updated every single day. And I love you all. I will see you very soon. Until next time, Crypto AI Man.